there. Yes, guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of my new podcast. I know you guys have been waiting a long time for this, but it's finally happening. I got my new mic, as you can hear, as you can see. So before we start, what I'm going to do is just tell you guys what we're going to be doing on this podcast. So I did do a previous video if you've seen that already, but I'm going to talk about this anyway. So what we're going to do, we're just going to be talking about all the games that have happened, every single news that I can find about that's been in the football news recently. We're going to be doing Prem games, Champions League games, Europa League games, FA Cup games, you name it. We'll be covering it all. I will be getting guests on, but for the first episode, I thought I'd just do it on my own, just get a feel of it, and then we'll get guests on for hopefully the next few episodes, so we can get a proper discussion going. So I've made some notes. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get straight into it. So run the intro. So let's get into the podcast. So the main story that's the main story that has come out in the news recently, well, sporting news and mainly football news, is obviously the Emiliano Sala plane crash, which happened. The tragic story of Emiliano Sala. Obviously, if you guys didn't know and you've been hiding under a rock for the past month or so, what happened was Emiliano Sala was the new striker coming to Cardiff City, which is my hometown's main football team. So yeah, they needed a new striker because they weren't scoring goals. Salah was doing I think he scored 14 goals, and he was a top goal scorer in the Ligue 1, the French league, before he came down. And yeah, what happened? Well, in my opinion, I'll talk about it more later on when I cover the story more. But I think it's a little bit fishy. There's something going on there, I reckon. So basically, as I was saying, he was top goal scorer. So he had actually signed for Cardiff because he had come over before to sign the contracts and everything. Get announced to everyone saying that they got Salah. So yeah, everyone was very excited, obviously, and then obviously the big news, the big thing happened, which was when he was meant to come to Cardiff to train for the coming game for the next week. But what had happened, obviously, if you've read the news, is his plane had suddenly gone missing, just off the radar, over the Channel Sea, between France and England, went off the radar, and then next thing you know, apparently, it's in the bottom of the sea now. But yeah, obviously, going to talk about the little controversy, if you'd like, in my opinion. I just think everything doesn't really add up, does it, really, in my opinion? Obviously, they did the search. I can't fault anything about the search. Obviously, they tried their best, but they'd only spent 3 days doing it, or 2 days, and then they gave up straight away. I mean, and then obviously they didn't find anything, didn't find any of the plane, anything like that. Then they stopped, obviously, and obviously the family wanted to find something. So they, in order for that, they did a GoFundMe page, and obviously a lot of the footballers got involved, and Mbappe, I think he gave about 50 mil or something like that in order for it to go through. Then obviously all the other players started putting in their own money as well. So they managed to get their own search going, and then within I think it was 24 hours, they found the plane straight away, which was a bit weird because the general search couldn't find anything in 3 days. They only found a pillow. I mean, and then straight away after 24 hours, they found the plane straight away. Bit weird, bit fishy. And then, so yeah, I don't know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Then obviously, eventually they found a body inside the plane, which is again weird because I'll try and find some previous headlines to prove it, but the um, they said that the plane had actually deteriorated before it hit the water. But then, from the new pictures from the private thing, they said the plane was was intact. So I'm not sure who's lying here. And also, if you see the pictures, there were a few pictures that have been brought out. The plane looks fine to me. There's a few things. If again, I'll try and find the pictures to show you. But the door, in my opinion, it does look like it's been kicked open a bit. And again, the pilot's body was nowhere to be seen, which again is a bit weird. Why is only Salah's body in the plane? What happened to the pilot's kind of thing? And if the door's been kicked open, then so yeah, it's just a bit weird, isn't it? And then obviously you got Salah's ringing his voice messages, sorry, in the WhatsApp group to his family and friends. It sounds a bit weird. One of my friends actually said, because we listened to it a few days ago, he brought an interesting fact up, saying it sounds like he might have been just waking up because he sounded a bit drowsy, but that could have just been he could have had a nap anyway. But yeah, it's just all a bit weird, isn't it? And then there's rumours about him having problems with the mafia or the mob. I can't remember if I'm not sure if he was in France or down in Argentina. Sorry, from where he was from. But honestly, I just don't think everything doesn't add up properly. It's all a bit weird, like, and I just don't know if we're gonna get any clarity onto how this happened or why it happened. Because I think we found the body. Well, not we. I'm not part. But they found the body. But I don't think they're gonna say anything else. They've announced about the injuries to Salah, saying he's had a few bruises. But that could be from anything. We don't know if that's from him hitting his head, obviously on impact, or if it's all a bit fishy. But yeah, just let me know down in the comments what you think. I might be looking too deep into this, and just pointing fingers a bit too quickly. But I don't know. It just feels a bit weird. But yeah, obviously, that's the sad news that's been happening recently. So obviously, in every single game, they've been doing a minute of silence. Oh, which brings me to the recent game in Cardiff City when we had two absolute dickheads, just to let you know, from Southampton, who thought it'd be funny to mock the moment of silence for some apparent reason, God knows why. But yeah, absolute knobheads, fuck knows what they were doing, like, just disrespectful from their behalf. But obviously they've been found out who they are. I think they've been arrested and banned from games, which is good. But yeah, it's just an absolute piss take, like, there's no need for that. But yeah, so that Salah incident, massive. It's obviously very sad, and in my opinion, this hit. Even though I'm not a Cardiff City fan, but I obviously live in Cardiff, and I feel like because it's in our hometown, it's hit home a lot harder especially for a lot of the fans. You can see if you've seen some of the games how upset. Well, it's they're just distraught. Because obviously they didn't even see them get to play or anything. But yeah, so obviously the tribute's been going up outside the stadium and everything. Yeah, but honestly, it feels like it's hit home a lot harder since we're living in Cardiff. It feels more more real because obviously it's happened to someone that's pretty much. Because I only live a few minutes away from the stadium, so it feels that much real. But yeah, that Salah incident's probably the main thing, and again, as I said, I might be looking too deeply into this, but yeah, it just feels a bit fishy. And again, if you want to get into the discussion, just pop a comment down below and let me know what you think. But yeah, that's the main talking about. But moving on, we got the Prem games now. So we got Man United's big victory against Fulham. And they're actually looking very strong under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, not going to lie. They're looking very strong. I went to go and see them against Cardiff City when they won 5-1. They looked completely different. And then this performance against Fulham. Okay, it's only Fulham. I know a lot of United fans or all the other fans, like, oh, what are you getting hyped for? It's only Fulham, but it was a good victory. It was only 3-0, but it was only 3. But it was a good performance overall. Even though I know, some people might say it's a bit harsh, and obviously anything can happen in football. But overall, United just look completely different. Martial has come out of his shell now with a fantastic solo goal. Pogs is slowly coming back to his old self again. Obviously, got De Gea, who's been tremendous. Just in general, even the Mourinho, he was looking strong. But yeah, that's another good step for United to maybe, who knows, maybe they can put on some pressure. Maybe not for the title chase, but at least they can get maybe aiming for the FA Cup or a Champions League spot, which would be amazing for United, judging by how well they've been doing. Obviously, again, similar kind of standard with Arsenal beating Huddersfield. It wasn't the most convincing performance, if I got to say, and the goals they were okay. They were fairly taken. I was happy for Iwobi because I kind of like Iwobi. I don't agree on some of the hate he gets because he's a young player, but I think it's just confidence, I think, for Iwobi, but he's slowly picking up, which is good to see because I just think he's a good player. Not a lot of people agree. So a lot of Arsenal fans don't actually agree at all either, saying that he's not the best, but he's slowly getting there. But yeah, again, Arsenal, obviously under Unai Emery, they're looking very good as well. Got some good performances. They went on an unbeaten run for a bit as well, which is surprising for Arsenal. But yeah, they're looking good, looking strong, not going to lie. But yeah, so that's, again, Arsenal maybe pushing for their well-known 4th spot, possibly. But who knows? Yeah, but again, Arsenal are looking very strong. So again, next season, they could look a strong force. Then obviously Liverpool, the big games now in the Liverpool and Man City title chase, with Liverpool comfortably beating Bournemouth 3-0. I think it's 3-0. Hope it was. Otherwise, apologies. But yeah, again, Liverpool looking very strong. 3-0 victory again, which I think put them above. Did put them above Man City for a bit. Again, a very strong performance from Liverpool, especially the front three as always. And Wijnaldum with a fantastic finish, chipped the keeper. But yeah, Salah, Mane, Firmino, all on fire again as always. And then, obviously, big win for Cardiff City, as I mentioned when they played Southampton. Big win, coming from behind to win. You see Sol Bamba, the main man again, scoring the late winner. I think that was just a little bit. It was just like it brought the Cardiff fans a little closer. I think obviously after everything that happened to Salah, they beat Bournemouth at home, which was good. Good victory for them as well. With bear with me, Bobby Reed scoring the 2 goals, and obviously and that was the first home game since the Salah incident, which was nice. And then going away from home and beating Southampton in the manner they did, and the fans were tremendous, as you said. But yeah, it wasn't really convincing, but it's a win, and a win's a win. But yeah, good win for Cardiff. And then obviously I'll try and I'm not sure if you did see, but the security guard that was protecting the away fans had an absolute mare. Yeah, he just got absolutely buoyed. It's just some old bloke, and he was trying to obviously stop Bamba from jumping into the crowd. I'll play a video, but it's brilliant. Just trying to watch him stop Bamba is great. So I'll put a video in, and obviously I'm not sure if you've seen some of the pictures going about, but during the celebration, Sol Bamba accidentally broke fan's glasses, and he reached out to him on Twitter, which I'll find and show you. But yeah, it just shows what kind of guy Sol Bamba is. He's a absolute joker. But yeah, again, great win for Cardiff City. They're now fairly well. I reckon they're pretty much safe now out the relegation zone. They're slowly picking up again, so it'll be good to see them to stay up. Now we move on to Watford, which is my team. We played Everton. It was also known as the homecoming of the Snakes, with Marco Silva and Richarlison coming back to Vicarage Road after their departure, which was it was feisty to say the least. Obviously, it was a 1-0 victory, very close game. But yeah, again, quite hostile for Marco Silva and obviously Richarlison, which we did well to really just focus on ourselves. Well, obviously, the fans. I'm not sure if you saw it. It was a bit. I'm not gonna lie. It was a bit petty. We were wearing the snake hats and brought some snake inflatables to the game, just to show our disapproval to both Marcus Silva and Richarlison, which is a fair joke. It's quite funny. Not gonna lie. But yeah, Andre Gray again, slowly picking up goals, which is good to see. But yeah, honestly, this season I'm so surprised about how well Watford are doing. Honestly didn't see this coming, but we've got a great team at the moment, going on a great run. So hopefully next weekend, obviously, got Cardiff City. But yeah, good win, good 1-0 win. Return of the Snakes, as I said, and honestly, I thought it was a good performance all around. And yeah, well, we showed them, didn't we? But anyway, on to the main game of the last weekend, which was Man City against Chelsea. And well then, it was interesting to say at the least, because I don't think anybody was going to expect that scoreline. Not even myself, because I tried watching it whilst I was in work, and it was buffering a bit. And honestly, I didn't understand. When I saw the first goal go in, I was like, oh, understandably, Man City, the way they were going. Chelsea, they were. I mean, their performances recently haven't been convincing. Obviously, they got Higuain now, which is a flipping tremendous signing, to be fair, after obviously having Morata weighing them down for a bit and having to play Hazard and striker, who clearly isn't a striker at all. So yeah, they've gone all out and out striker now, which is good in Higuain, who did well on his debut. But then, yeah, honestly, I don't know what happened to Chelsea. But you can't fault Man City, because what Pep's done is just incredible. Man City are a force to be reckoned with at the moment. They're just God, it's hard to explain, but they're just it's just nice to see. And obviously they got Liverpool to battle with, but 6-0, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it's just another, I think, Pep masterclass. Or was it just Chelsea on and off day? Because defensively, not gonna lie, they weren't the best at all. They just switched off a lot. They weren't really concentrating. I think maybe that's what it was. But yeah, first goal was a good goal by Aguero, who obviously missed his sitter, of course. Don't know how, but then instantly after that, he goes out and scores a fucking 20-yard screamer. So fair play to Aguero. Obviously got his hat trick as well, and in my opinion, I think he definitely is the best striker in the Premier League at the moment. There's no doubt in that. One of the best. Well, I mean, even one of the best finishers in the world, I reckon, at the moment. But yeah, again, Aguero's having a tremendous season as always. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets gone boot. Obviously, Harry Kane is out injured at the moment as well. So it gives Aguero a little bit of a chance to try and maybe put a gap between them both. But it should be interesting to see what Harry Kane does when he comes back from injury. See if he can pick up his form again. And start scoring goals, and maybe we'll see a little battle between Aguero and Kane come in at the end of the season, but who knows. But yeah, again, well, Chelsea, what went wrong, as I said, it could be this lack of concentration. They just defensively they didn't look good enough, and then they just weren't creating a lot of chances. And then obviously for one of I think it was their second goal, Man City's. Just couldn't get rid of the ball properly, and then Barkley, God knows what he was doing, tried heading the ball back into his own box, and obviously Aguero pounced on it and scored. But yeah, just stuff like that. I don't know what was going on from Chelsea's point of view, but again, you can't fault Man City. They had a tremendous performance there. Obviously, when Sterling scored, I'm not sure if you've seen that as well. It was going around social media, but it was quite weird because Sterling and Bernardo Silva seem to have an in-sync celebration, if you like. So it proves that Pep's telepathic tactics is working, if you like, because they seem to be on the same wavelength, if you like. But yeah, that was quite funny. So if you didn't see that, I'll show you a video. And obviously, talking about Aguero's performance, but he was a little bit outshone, if you like, by Mike Dean's personal performance, which was brilliant as always from Mike Dean. Not sure if you've seen some of the videos going about of his all dance moves as he gave the free kick, I think it was, or penalty. And then at the end of the game, he was up to his own antics as well by hiding the match ball from Aguero as well. But yeah, again, Mike Dean, as always, just having a bit of fun. It's nice to see, isn't it? Some of the referees having a bit of humour. It's nice to see. But yeah, now we're going to move on to some of the main refereeing decisions that we saw over the last weekend. So obviously, in the Spurs game, there was the big controversial decision of, was Son's penalty shout a dive or not, obviously. I have looked at it, obviously. No, you can definitely see the contact. I don't think he dived. I think it was a correct decision. Again, I'll try and find a video so then you can have your own say in the comment. I don't know what happened there. You can have your own say in the comments. But yeah, I don't think it was a dive. You can definitely see contact. Maybe he did by a bit, but there was definitely contact and enough for him to go down, I reckon. So yeah, right decision there. Obviously, then there was a Kurt Zouma red card at the end of the game against us. To be fair, Everton were getting done a bit harsh with some of the calls. I gotta admit, but Zouma obviously was very worked up at the end of the game. But again, I'll show you the video. But you literally you can't run from, I can't remember where it was. I think it's from his own half into the ref's face and shouting at him. He was literally in his face. Already on a yellow already, and the ref really had no decision but to give him the second yellow and then a red. So again, if you want to discuss this, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, some people say it might be a bit harsh, but you can't do that. Even if he was in the game and he came running from his own half to the ref's face, I think he would have been punished anyway. So yeah, I think that one was deserved again. And then obviously the main was the Brighton penalty shout, which was honestly I don't know how the ref didn't see this, because he blatantly handballs it. I mean, he tries his chest it and he rolls it with his arm out to the box. And honestly, I don't know how the ref didn't see that, because that is as clear as day. Poor decision from the ref there. Again, with all these decisions, I'll put videos in so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, poor refereeing there. Don't know how he didn't notice any of them. So yeah, anyway, so that's the Prem. But then moving on to the Champions League, and it's finally back. Thank God, the Champions. We've been waiting for this. Well, I've been waiting for this for a while. And obviously the draws. Whew, got some brilliant draws. So obviously the main game was the Man United versus PSG games, which was not gonna lie, it did live up to their to the expectations. I'm not gonna lie. It was a cracking game. I watched it all. I wasn't expecting the United performance. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they were gonna struggle, but they came out guns blazing. They applied the pressure straight away. They did not give PSG a chance to play around the back, because that's what they're looking to do. They were straight out from the blocks. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out then. and just straight onto them, pressurising, which I was surprised about. But then obviously there was the questionable lineups. I'm not sure if you've seen that because obviously PSG now were out without Neymar and Cavani, which everyone was expecting they would do badly without them. Because obviously, to be fair, I was as well going into the game because I was purely thinking they only have Mbappe as a real threat that I thought, which obviously he was because he scored. But yeah, I was surprised again, but the lineup was a bit weird because obviously they put Dani Alves on the wing and they had Marquinhos. Excuse me, they had Marquinhos in midfield, which was interesting. Excuse me again. But yeah, that was really interesting for me. But it seemed to work actually, which was surprising. I thought when looking back on the game, I thought they maybe put Marquinhos in there just to kind of maybe put pressure on Pogba maybe. And then Dani Alves, God knows about why they put Dani Alves on the wing because they had Draxler. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, obviously Dani Alves being an ex-Barca player, obviously I'm going to give high ratings to him. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, he surprised me a lot on the wing. He did a lot. But then, it's just a bit weird, I thought. Then obviously there was a hostile crowd towards Di Maria, which I thought was absolutely pointless. I didn't see any point in that at all. I mean, Di Maria, he obviously played for United, but he didn't leave on bad terms, really, did he? I mean, obviously he didn't play the best, but he didn't fit in, really. He didn't, then obviously his house got robbed whilst he was in Manchester, so he didn't feel like he fit in, really. So, obviously he left to go to PSG, but then maybe United fans can clear this up for me, but I just thought there was no need for the hostility that he had, or the booing. But then obviously he shut them up because he had a stormer of a game, absolutely tremendous game. Obviously assisted twice actually from a corner, and then obviously he assisted Mbappe as well. But yeah, honestly, I don't see the point of the hostility towards him. Obviously, had the bottle chucked at him as well. I'll show a video or a picture if I can find one. But it was quite funny because he picked up and pretended to drink the beer as well, just to show he didn't really care. But yeah, it's fair play to Di Maria. Obviously, he's an experienced player, so he's used to it. But I thought he did well to deal with it. And then obviously, Ashley Young decided to welcome him back as well with a little shove, which I thought it was a bit unnecessary as well. But obviously, there's nothing Di Maria could do because of the force and the way the pitch kind of like dips down. It was hard for him to kind of stop himself. So you can't really blame Ashley Young, but then I still feel it was unnecessary. But then, yeah, Di Maria definitely deserved his performance, really. But then, obviously, in my opinion, because obviously there's been videos emerging of him telling the United fans to F off, obviously, because he was so worked up. Which, again, you're welcome to criticise me, but I think that was... He deserved to do that kind of thing because they were giving him stick all game, and then he finally obviously they won, and then the performance he put in, I think he kind of deserved them to F off. But yeah, both goals well taken. Mbappe was on fire as always again. Kimpembe, it was a good finish from him, a terrific corner as well from Di Maria, and then obviously at the end, Pogba got his red card. It could have been a bit harsh, but obviously that means he misses the next leg. Already on a yellow, and he just kind of lunged in. I think it was a deserved second yellow, but yeah, again you can say it's a bit harsh, but they're always going to be given. But yeah, that was a huge game. So let's looking forward to the next leg now. It's only 2-0, but honestly, I can't see United coming back because there's rumours that Cavani could possibly be back for that leg, and but Neymar has been ruled out. He's not going to make a return, unfortunately. But maybe that's fortunate for the United fans. But yeah, who knows? With Cavani possibly coming back and Mbappe in the form he is, I don't see United coming back, I'm afraid, especially away from home. But yeah, they can prove us wrong because PSG definitely proved me wrong, not going to lie, because I fully expected United to win. But yeah, it should be an interesting tie, but then obviously going back to United, the performance wasn't bad. As obviously, as I said at the start, they were applying the pressure a lot. They came out fast paced, but I thought as soon as Lingard got taken off, because he obviously got injured, I thought the pace kind of it left United a bit. So yeah, Lingard was really the pace setter, really. And then obviously Alexis Sanchez came on and he was absolutely dreadful. He was shit, absolute shite. He was. There was a stat that he created no chances, he had no key dribbles, no shots on target, no shots at all. So yeah, I don't know what happened to Sanchez. They just kind of disappeared. Same with Pogba a bit. But that was a bit harsh. I thought Pogba wasn't too bad, but in my opinion, Matic was 100% the best United player on the pitch for that game. But yeah, and then Martial as well. He wasn't at his best. I'm not sure if that was because he wasn't used to kind of like the pace of the Champions League again, because obviously he's been a bit off form. He hasn't been playing. But the way he's been playing the Prem, I thought he might have done a bit better. But there we go. Then obviously, Sanchez, going back to the Sanchez thing, Solskjaer was saying that this is a problem that he can't help himself. It's more of a problem that Sanchez has to work out himself, because he thinks it might be a confidence issue for Sanchez. But again, that's for him to decide, and hopefully we'll see Sanchez back in his form again. But who knows it? But yeah, so that's the United game. Moving on to the Roma versus Porto game. Not least important, but less important. Obviously, Zanillo, the youngster, had a blind of a performance, scored the goals. So yeah, that's one to look for in the future. Two very well taken goals as well. Not to be fair to them. Dzeko as well had a incredibly good performance. And then obviously Porto at the end got that lucky goal. They got the away goal. It was very jammy. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I'll probably put a clip in. But yeah, he literally went to volley it, completely sliced it up in the air, landed at his feet, and he just slotted it home. But yeah, Porto have got that all important away goal now. So going back home in Porto, the next game, it's looking good for them, really. So it should be both legs should be interesting for those games. And then obviously the other big game was the Spurs versus Dortmund game, which I did not see this coming. I'm not gonna lie, I did not see this coming. Again, both teams, which I thought was a bit weird, opting not to go with out-and-out strikers, because obviously Spurs were without Kane and Ali, and Dortmund decided not to put Philip on in striker. We maybe thought they might put Sancho and obviously Pulisic on the wings, but they opted against that, which was interesting. But then Jadon Sancho obviously coming back to England after he'd left, his first time back in England, and not gonna lie, he had a very good game. He did prove his point. I think everyone was happy to see him back in England again. But obviously he didn't do enough. He didn't score. He didn't. But yeah, Spurs. I'm not gonna lie, Spurs were just exceptional, especially out of nowhere. Jan Vertonghen. Can we talk about that? What happened? What did he get put in his Weetabix that morning or that night? He was on absolute fire. He was exceptional in that wing-back position. Especially, in the first half he was a bit quiet, but in the second half, if it blew up, took his goal nicely. His ball towards Son was just exceptional. That was a peach of a ball in. Again, I'll probably put videos in. But yeah, Vertonghen was just on fire. In my opinion, I can't remember who got man of the match. I didn't check, but if I had to give it to him, I probably would give it to Jan Vertonghen, because he had an exceptional performance. And then obviously Spurs' performance in general, they were just exceptional as well. Especially they didn't have any Kane and Ali, so people thought they'd struggle a bit. But yeah, they proved them wrong again. I didn't expect it at all. And then I'm not sure if you saw it at the start as well. I need to talk about. Pochettino had a little bit of an awkward handshake at the start. I'll put a video in so you can have a look. But yeah, it was very funny. They both kind of went in for a handshake and then just opted for a fist bump instead. But yeah, it was quite funny. But yeah, that was good game, very good game. Oh, and yeah, again, I wasn't expecting Spurs to play as well as they did. I thought Dortmund, especially the way they've been playing this season, would shut them out. But yes, credit to Spurs, they did exceptionally well. And obviously the other game now is Ajax against Real, and oh shit. But yeah, I actually thought Ajax were going to win this because I had a feeling I was going to put a bet on. I forgot to do it in the end, but I had a feeling Ajax were gonna win on both legs as well. So just well, not win in both legs, but as in go through in general. But yeah, it was a cracker of a game. Ajax as underdogs, but they had. I'm not gonna lie, their performance surprised me a lot. They had an absolute storming performance against Real Madrid. Because at home, Ajax are actually very dangerous, extremely dangerous. They got an exceptionally young team as well. But yeah, I thought they did absolutely brilliant. Maybe they got done a bit harsh, obviously, with their goal. They got, excuse me, called out with the first time in Champions League history, by the way, through VAR. But yeah, again, I'll show you a picture, but it was very harsh. Courtois was that close. It was literally millimeters away from becoming a meme, just like Karius. But yeah, it was very interesting. It was a bit harsh, maybe, because with VAR, as the commentator said, without VAR, maybe it wouldn't have been given. Would have been given. Sorry, the goal. So yeah, maybe Ajax can feel like they've been done a bit harsh there, but there we go. De Ligt again, a little stat for you. De Ligt was actually the youngest captain ever in Champions League history. So fair play to him. Vinicius Junior as well, another youngster for Real Madrid, who had an absolute cracker of a performance. So he's one to watch for the future, 100%. Yeah, he had a cracking performance. Nice little assist to Benzema, who finished off. Not gonna lie, emphatically, it was a great finish. But then, as you can say again, were the refs, as everyone say, were the refs on Real's side once again? You could say they were, but again, I don't want to go too much into it because, yeah, it's just I don't know. But it's a hard one to sell because you can say that for every game of Real Madrid, really. Same with Barca. I'm going to miss it, even though as a Barca fan, we do get the occasional biased refs. But yeah, could say the same thing on Real's side, but I think that would be too much of an easy excuse to say for Ajax. And then again, Ramos again, was he up to his own tricks, getting them trying to play them dirty fouls and etc. Some say he was, but obviously I think he got that yellow card, so I think he's out for the second leg, which could be a huge blow for Real Madrid. So yeah, again, that could be an interesting one for Ajax to go to the Bernabeu and see if they can nab a win. So I'm going to try and make a put on a bet this time because I just have a gut feeling that Ajax could pull it out. But there we go. Who knows? So yeah. Oh shit. Oh my phone's on. So yeah, transfer news now. Just moving on to the transfer news. Obviously, it's just considering the main stories. So obviously we got Daniel Suarez, who's just moved to Arsenal. And he's had his debuts. He's not looking too bad. So that's a good sign for Arsenal, even though they're linked with God knows who. They're linked with pretty much everyone. Perisic, you name it, they were named with everyone. If you didn't know about the Perisic situation, it's quite funny, really, because honestly I don't understand why Arsenal just didn't buy him in the first place, because they were looking to loan him for some strange reason, and obviously Inter weren't willing to loan him. They wanted to get money from him, obviously, because he's a first-team player. But then Arsenal just adamant for them to loan him for some reason, so they just pulled out, which is a bit stupid, I think, because if they had Perisic, then they'd be fine. But really, again, they should be looking for centre-backs, I think, rather than wingers, because defensively they're a bit shit. Obviously, they've got a lot of injuries now in the defensive position, so maybe they should start looking for defensive players but obviously I'm not the manager, so it's up to him. Um, but yes, and then obviously Higuain as well, and obviously Pulisic going to Chelsea. Two big signings. Um, but could that mean that Hazard's on his way out? I think it might be. It looks like he's definitely going to Real Madrid. So just a matter of time, I reckon, before Real Madrid do nab him up. But yeah, he'll go for a lot of money, I reckon. Who knows? He might be. Do you reckon he'll be more expensive than Neymar? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But judging by how the transfer market's going, he very well could be. And obviously, the other big news coming out of the Prem was Ramsey moving to Juve. So he's finally leaving Arsenal after being there for 11 years, I think it was. Might be a bit of a sad one for the Arsenal fans, but he's making a name for himself now. He's getting, I think it's 400,000 a week, which is nuts. So that makes him one of the highest paid footballers in the world at the moment, and he's almost he's only like, I think he's only like what? Oh, come on, man. But I think he's only like 1.1 away from Bale for being the highest paid Welshman. That's interesting. Obviously, other news we got. Other than transfer news, Icardi has been, well, it counts as transfer news, but Icardi's recently been stripped of his captaincy, which is interesting. They haven't really announced why that is yet. Excuse me, but that one could be interesting. Because that could maybe be a main point showing that he might be leaving at the soon. Because apparently there's been transfer news that he's been linked with the move away from Inter, so that should be interesting. Then of course, what else is there? Anyway, they're the main transfer news, main stories that I can think of. So now moving on to the upcoming games, and obviously this week the Prem is off because it's Cup week. So obviously we got the FA Cup. And then the big game is, the main ones I've picked out are the Newport versus Man City game in the FA Cup, which could be a cracker of a game because the way Newport have been doing in the FA Cup, you can't write them out for actually beating Man City. But depends what type of team Man City put out. Will they go all guns blazing, knowing of what Newport are capable of doing, or will they play a younger squad? That should be interesting. See what Newport can do. Who knows? They might be able to knock out Man City, which would be incredible. So that's one to look out for. And then obviously you've got the Chelsea versus Man United game, which is that'll be a huge one to watch again in the FA Cup. Should be an interesting matchup, especially how the both teams been playing recently. So that should be a tremendous game to watch. And obviously I picked out QPR versus Watford purely just because I'm a Watford fan. Hopefully we're away to QPR, so hopefully we can do well for that game. So it should be interesting. Should be Watford anyway to win that game. Obviously, moving on now to the Champions League games. They're coming up in midweek. Obviously, the main two, Liverpool against Bayern and Atletico against Juve, and obviously we've got Barca versus Lyon, which could be a big game, but not as big as the other two, obviously. Liverpool Bayern should be a tremendous game. Should be interesting anyway to see what happens. Honestly, it's a hard one to say because I have a feeling that Bayern could actually win. They haven't been playing brilliantly this season, but that could just be Dortmund, the way they've been playing. But again, it should be an interesting one. It's hard to say, but I'm gonna say Bayern for this one, even though we're away. Obviously, Lyon against Barca. Again, it's a tough one because Lyon actually have a good side, and Barca been a bit shabby. Obviously, we got the results, but yes, they haven't been at the best, shall we say. But yeah, away from home should be a tough one. But again, I'm gonna say Barca for that one. Not just because I'm a Barca fan, but just I have a feeling. Atletico against Juve, that should be a incredible game. Obviously, it's going to be Ronaldo's homecoming to Spain, so that should be interesting. But yeah, Atletico, they haven't been doing too bad this season. Obviously, they just got Morata back as well. So there should be an interesting lineup. They're home as well, and their home record's tremendous. So it should be interesting to see what they say. But I'm probably going to say Juve, and I'm probably going to say Ronaldo to score in that game as well. And then obviously Schalke versus Man City. Yeah, I would say Man City for that one. I think because Schalke. I'm not sure what type of season they've been having because I haven't checked, but the way the Man City have been going recently, you can't bet against them. So I'm saying Man City for that one. And then yeah, moving on to the Premier League games coming up on Friday is Cardiff versus Watford. And I mentioned this one just to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a matchday vlog. So yeah, look out for that one. And then anybody that's going to the game, please do come and say hi. So yeah, I'll be doing a matchday vlog. Hopefully that'll be fairly enjoyable for you guys to watch. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I haven't seen Watford in a while. A few years really. So that should be interesting. But yeah, it's actually a big game for both teams because it's a big game for Cardiff, so they can progress really to get further out of the relegation zone, and it's a big game for Watford really as well because we, in my opinion, I wanna look for the Europa League spot. So this could be a big game for us to progress for that. So yeah, big game for both teams. So it should be a cracker. But yeah, last time we played Cardiff, we won obviously, but it was a tight one because they almost brought it back. So and they're home this time as well. So yeah, that could be a tough one for us to go to, but yeah, I'm gonna say Watford again. So yeah, come on you Orns, and hopefully I'll see you there. And obviously the big game as well, Man United against Liverpool. That's gonna be a massive game, that one. United at home. Again, Liverpool really need to win this game because yes, because if they want a shout of winning the title, they need to win this game. Man United as well. This could be a big game for them as well. Obviously, looking to get a decent position, league position. So yeah, it should be interesting. And then obviously the midweek games, we've got Cardiff playing again straight after playing Watford on Friday. They're playing against Everton in the midweek. So that should be an interesting game as well. But yeah, that's gonna be a tough game, I reckon, for Cardiff City. So yeah, I honestly I can't. Depending how they do against Watford, I can't see them beating Everton. I'm afraid because Everton are looking quite dangerous this season. But yeah, it should be interesting to see. But then obviously, and then Chelsea against Spurs, which is the London derby. That should be an absolute cracker of a game. Excuse me, I'm not sure if I don't think Kane's back, but I think Ali's back for that game. So yeah, that should be a very interesting game. Chelsea at home. But yeah, I think Spurs will win this one as well, just because how well they've been doing so far without Kane. So yeah, that should be interesting. But yeah, there we go. So that's the midweek games, and also that is the end of my first episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you want to see my matchday vlog, just give it a thumbs up. If you want to join the discussion about anything I've spoken to in this podcast, please do comment down below. And yeah, just get involved. It'd be nice to see some of your opinions, see if you agree, disagree, and maybe we can have a chat about it in the comments. Yeah, and if you did enjoy this video, please subscribe so you don't miss a future video, and keep that notification bell on again so you get notified when I do future episodes. And yeah, again, thank you very much for watching my first ever episode of my new podcast. Can't wait for you guys to see how it when it's finalized. So yeah, I'll catch you guys very soon with a new video. Peace. Woo! Done, bastards. Woohoo!